Okay, may I have your attention, please? Let's take a start with IELTS reading. All you need is lead pencil, right? And handout is already there in front of you. And you need a mindset to understand certain things, the way they solve, the way they give you the questions and how to find the answers and all that, right? So be very much active. And one more thing, you just need to make sure whatever I tell you, you just understand that. It's don't sit like a dumb in the class. You understand or you don't understand. Class is going on and on and on. You must understand and you have to be with me. Being with me means you have to see what's going on. When I read the question, just follow the question. It's not that I'm reading the question and you're looking for the answer, right? And then you are the first one to tell me the answer. You will not win any trophy. We will do it all together. At home, afterwards, you will do IELTS reading tests on your own. I will send you this book with audios and all that. But over here, just have some patience. Follow me, go on with me. When I'm speaking, I'm talking to you, you should be looking at the questions only. If I say now paragraph number this, line number this, go on and read that, then you will understand everything. So IELTS reading is tricky. And by the way, I'm solving this academic reading test. I know some of you are general training. Still, I'm solving academic reading test because if you solve academic reading test, you will be well prepared for general training reading. Usually, general training reading candidates have difficulties in part 3. Part 1, part 2, after doing academic reading, part 1 and part 2 will be very easy for you. Acha ji, yeah, Allah kaka. Good. So, anyways, now we go on and we will do IELTS reading in a very relaxed way. We are here until 11 p.m. Don't worry. Okay, I've taken special permission from them. They said no problem, right? So, we will do it in a very relaxed way, okay? When you do IELTS reading, first of all, read the, title of the passage. Now, let's read the title. Why we need to protect polar bears. Bear is, Halu. Bhalu, very good. Sometimes Halu is like Bhalu, that's something else. But bear is actually reach or Bhalu or whatever. Why do we need to protect polar bears? It means this passage is all about protection of polar bears and the reasons why we need to protect them. Now, when I read the title, immediately the picture of polar bear. What is polar bear? Polar bear is the one that lives in the snow, on the mountains and all that. Just imagine white bear in the snow and you will understand things better, right? Your imagination will help you. Otherwise, students usually say, we cannot concentrate, it becomes boring. But if mentally you are involved, then it's going to be easier. And same is what you should do in listening module. Your imagination, visualization will actually help you. Now, after that, you will go to questions. When you are doing section 1, always do section 1 in the same order. Same order means the first 5 questions first, then the next questions and all that. Because in academic reading part 1, mostly the questions and the passage, they will be in the same order. And 3 to 4 questions are important. True, false, not given, short answer question, sentence completion. In these 3 questions, passage and the questions, they are in order. Now, let's take a start. Question number 1. Polar bears suffer from various health problems due to the build-up of fat under their skin. Now, look here. Just imagine polar bear suffer from various health problems due to the build-up of fat under their skin. If polar bears suffer from health problems due to the fat under their skin, it is true. If they have the fat under their skin, but that doesn't harm them, they don't suffer from any problem due to that, then it is false, right? And if they don't tell us anything, whether they suffer from any health problem because of fat under their skin, they don't mention anything, then the answer is not given. Okay, now listen. First, you are going to see what are the clue words here. You may see the word suffer, then you can see health problems, and then you can see fat under their skin, fat, right? Now, usually when they start reading part 1, question number 1, the answers are usually in the first or second paragraph. Now we go to first paragraph. and find anything which is related to fat, health problem, or anything like that. Did you find? Now I want you all to come to third sentence or third line of first paragraph. Are you there? One reason. Clear? Now please follow me. One reason for this is that they have up to 11 centimeters of fat underneath their skin. Okay, now we have to see they suffer from health problem or not. Humans with comparative levels of adipose tissues would be considered obese and would be likely to suffer from diabetes. Who? Human. Not the bears. Then they say, and heart diseases. Yet the polar bear experiences no such consequences. Now, if somebody will not read after yet, then they will say, okay, answer is this. That is human, not polar bear. They said, yet the polar bear experiences no such consequences. What's the question? Polar bears suffer from various health problems. They don't bear such consequences. So the answer is false. Well done. So you can write F-A-L-S-E capital false, or you can only write capital F, but I will advise you to write full word false. Okay, that's a good start. Now let's go on. Question number 2. Study done by Liu and his colleagues. Clue word is Liu. Encircle that. Okay? Study done by Liu and his colleagues compared. Now, most important part, comparison. You will look for comparison. Compared different groups of polar bears. Now look, if the study by Liu compared different groups of polar bears, it's true. If they compared only one group, single group, not different groups. For different groups, they will use the word 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. If it is only one group, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us the number of groups, then the answer is not given. So you should know this. I tell you, passage is harmless. Passage is harmless. These are the questions which will cause you the damage. Questions are made in a tricky way so that you don't understand. Like, over here, different groups. Now you need to just see compared and different groups. If groups are many, 2, 3 groups, it's true. If only one group, then it's false. Otherwise, not given. Now please go back to second paragraph. There you will find Liu. Let's do this together. After full stop, second paragraph, first line after full stop. They compared the genetic structure of polar bears with that of their closest relatives from a warmer climate, the brown bears. So they compared it with brown bears. Now brown bear is one group. Okay, brown bears. Now go back to the question and tell me what is the answer. It is, see, they said the brown bears. In the question, they say compare different groups of polar bears. Only one group. Which group is that? Brown bear. It's not different groups. It's only one group. So hence the answer is false. Good. Yeah? Punjabi good. False. Do you understand? I mean, I want you, once you do this understanding, believe you me, several students of mine who watched my videos, they got 9 in reading. In the beginning, that surprised me, but now it doesn't surprise me. Once you develop understanding, things will be fine, okay? Let's go to passage 2 and passage 3 and you'll be like this, okay? This is just the beginning, easy part. Question number 3. Liu and colleagues were the first researchers. Encircle first. They always play like this. Now you will focus first. So, Liu and colleagues were the first researchers to compare polar bears and brown bears genetically. Now listen, if they were the first researchers, it's true. If somebody had already done that research and they followed their footsteps, right, then it is false. And if they don't tell us whether they were the first researchers or second or third, then it is not given. Now you will go on with the same paragraph. Read on. Liu and his colleagues. Second paragraph, last 4th line. Followed it? Liu and his colleagues. Now let's read it. Liu and his colleagues found the polar bears had a gene known as APOB, which reduces levels of low density lipoproteins, a form of bad cholesterol in humans, and all that stuff. Last line, polar bears may therefore be an important study model to understand blah, blah, blah. Is there any mention that they were the first ones or second ones or third ones? No mention. So the answer is not given. Okay? Now, let's go on. Question number 4. Polar bears are able to control their levels of bad cholesterol. Just underline, able to control their bad cholesterol by genetic means. So if genetically they have something to control their bad cholesterol, it is true. If they don't have anything genetically that controls their bad cholesterol, then it is false. Not genetically, some other way, then it is false, otherwise not given. Same paragraph where they talk about this cholesterol. Now I'm reading the last 3 lines, please. Second paragraph, last 3 lines. APOB, which reduces levels of low density lipoproteins, a form of bad cholesterol. In humans, mutations of this gene are associated with increased risk of heart disease. Polar bears may therefore be an important study model to understand heart disease in human. If you just go back to this sentence, polar bear had a gene known as APOB. Polar bear had a gene known as APOB which reduces levels of LDL. Now they have a gene which reduces the level of LDL. What's the question? Polar bears are able to control their levels of bad cholesterol by genetic means? True, exactly. Clear? Good, very good. See, you should be logical when you are doing IELTS reading, then you will understand everything. Question number 6. It was found that, 5. Female polar bears are able to survive for about 6 months without food. Look here. Female polar bears, you will find female, the word female. And then 6 months without food, right? Let's just go back. Look for the word female polar bears. Third paragraph in the middle. Got it? Now, you will not read everything before you reach female polar bear. It's not you're reading everything, I'm enjoying. No. Your eyes will scan. What will your eyes scan? Your eyes will scan female? Too bad, huh? Okay. I said, what will your eyes scan? Female. Yeah, female polar bears. Yeah, so what, huh? Polar bear or whatever. Anyway, so we found female polar bears. And then after that, and there is another thing. You should skim read. If you realize that this is exactly according to the question, then you read carefully. Otherwise, skim reading. Let's read from here. Female polar bears, however, undergo extreme conditions during blah, blah, blah. Once autumn comes and all that, let's look for 6 months. Last 3 lines. This process results in about 6 months of fasting. Now, fasting, what does that mean? Without food or drink. 6 months of fasting where the female bears have to keep themselves and blah, blah, blah. And what is the question? Female polar bears are able to survive for about 6 months without food. The answer is false. Excellent. Just jhatka diya thoda sa. True ye. That's right. Yeah? You become uncomfortable. Oh, hi. Yeah? Okay, good job. Question number 6. It was found that the bones of female, right? The bones of female polar bears were very weak when they came out of their dens in spring. Look here. The main topic is bones of female. After 6 months when they came out, if the bones were weak, it's true. If the bones were still strong, then it is false. And if they don't tell us whether the bones were strong or weak, then it is not given. Now let's go back to the same paragraph. Last line. Despite this, their bones remain strong and dense. Okay? So the answer is false. They said strong and dense. And in the question, they say weak. So it's the opposite of that, right? Okay, let's go on. Question number 7. The polar bear's mechanism for increasing bone density could also be used by people one day. Means in future, we can also use, like people have osteoporosis, that's one of the diseases. So polar bear's mechanism, let's go back please. Just look for anything like mechanism. Look for the word mechanism. 4th paragraph, last line, got it? Now you will scan it, and sooner you scan, it is better. You will manage your time. You will do IELTS reading in 40 minutes if through scanning you reach where the answer is. Let's read the second last line. If the mechanism of bone remodeling in polar bears can be understood, many bedridden humans and even astronauts could potentially benefit. Could potentially benefit means they may benefit if they understand, means in the future, right? So what's the question? The polar bear's mechanism for increasing bone density could also be used for people one day. And for people, they use the word astronauts and bedridden human. Exactly. So the answer is true, right? So this is how you should do this. Well, guys, now we have IELTS reading part 1, and this time we are going to discuss one word only, right? So a word of caution, one word only means just one word, right? As I told you before, our book, that is equal to 2 words. Only book will be the answer. Reasons why polar bears should be protected. The whole passage is about that. And by the way, over here also sentence completion, short answer question, true, false, not given, passage and the questions, they are in the same order. It may take you more time to find the answer of first question. Once you find that, then you go on and on and on and on, and then you will find remaining answers. And another thing, the first set of questions, like you're doing questions 1 to 5, may take more time. But when you move questions 6 to 10, then it will take less time because you will be familiar with the passage. Again, I would suggest whenever you read the question, pick up a clue word and then scan. Don't directly read the passage. You will not be able to manage your time. First scan, reach the right place, and then you see you can do it all in 40-50 minutes. Then nothing, then read all the passage, waste your time and all that. Yeah, again, you should, from question, you need to find that clue word, exactly. Okay, I'll tell you how. Reasons why polar bears should be protected. Question number 8. People think of bears as unintelligent and dash. Now listen, for unintelligent, they may use the word foolish, stupid, idiots, or anything like that. Now go back, look for the word. People think of bears as unintelligent or anything like that. Second page of the passage, first paragraph. What is the word? Yeah, they use the word stupid. Okay? Now let's read this together. Such as elephants and primates, then they say, in the next line, bears, on the other hand, seem to be perceived as stupid and in many cases violent. Stupid and violent. So for stupid, they have written the word unintelligent, and violent is going to be the answer. Now, if you don't know unintelligent means stupid, then you will be moving around in circles and all that, and then you'll never find the answer. So you should immediately interpret. Now, what I did, I interpreted the word unintelligent as stupid, idiot, or anything like that. Idiot is not a good word, by the way. So stupid is fine. That may go. Next, they say, however, this may not be correct. For example, in Tenoji Zoo, words, unusual words should be read as you read them. Don't worry. Tenoji Zoo, a bear has been seen using a branch as a something. Branch as a. Now go back to the zoo. Look for the word branch and as a what? The bear used the branch as a. You found this word Tenoji Zoo in the same paragraph. A male bear called Gogo in Tenoji Zoo, Osaka, has ever been observed making use of a tool to manipulate his environment. The bear used a tree branch on multiple occasions to dislodge a piece of meat. Now, what's the answer? No, it's one word only. Exactly. They said tool to manipulate the environment. The bear used a tree branch. So the bear used tree branch as a tool. Exactly. Okay? Yeah, so the right answer is tool. Let's go on. This allowed him to knock down some dash. Same line. This allowed him to knock down some. Just read on, please, after tool. To manipulate his environment, the bear used a tree branch on multiple occasions to dislodge a piece of meat hung out of his reach. What will be the answer? Meat. Exactly. Dislodge a piece of meat hung out of its reach. So this allowed him to knock down some meat. Dislodge and knock down. These are similar words. Dislodge something, like something is tied up there and you just try to pull it down. Lodge and dead. So the answer is meat. Clear? And focus the spelling as well. Question number 11. A wild polar bear worked out a method of reaching a platform. Platform is your clue word here. Platform where a dash was located. Something was located on that platform. Again, go back. Same paragraph after beat. Problem solving ability has also been witnessed in a wild polar bear, although not as obviously as with Gogo. A calculated move by a male bear involved running and jumping onto barrels in an attempt to get to a photographer standing on a platform. Now see what is the answer. Answer is here. Photographer standing on a platform 4 meters high. Exactly. The answer is going to be photographer. They said platform where a photographer was located. Platform where a photographer was located, and for that they use the word a photographer standing on a platform. So standing on a platform means where a photographer was located. Okay, now please come to question number 12. Polar bears have displayed behavior such as conscious manipulation of objects and activity similar to a. Focus similar to, resembles, looks like, right? Similar to. So just go on. Similar to a. The very next paragraph. For similar to, like what appeared to be or something like that. Exactly. Third line, focus that. For example, MS observed bears putting objects in piles and then knocking them over in what appeared to be a game. What appeared to be a game, and in the question they say polar bears have displayed behavior such as conscious manipulation of objects and activity similar to. Activity similar to, and for that they said knocking them over in what appeared to be a game. Similar to a game, appeared to be a game. Okay, question number 13. Bears may also display emotions. Now we will find a part of the passage where they talk about emotions. For example, they may make movements suggesting dash if disappointed when hunting. Now they may make movements suggesting. What do these movements show? That's what you're going to find. Just go back, last paragraph. As for emotions, second last paragraph. Please read carefully. As for emotions, while the evidence is once again anecdotal, many bears have been seen to hit out at ice and snow, seemingly out of frustration when they have just missed out on a kill. So, what will be the answer? Frustration. Exactly. Frustration will be the right answer. Okay, that's fine. Okay guys, may I have your attention please? Now we are going to learn how to deal with list of headings. Before we continue, I would like to give you a little bhashan about list of headings. List of headings or paragraph headings. This question is quite confusing for many students. Especially there are 2 to 3 extra headings. And they make those extra headings in such a way that the common students think this heading can be put anywhere. right? They make them in such a common way that you think that this heading can be everywhere and all that. Now, the first thing is, whenever you get such type of questions, first of all, you should read the title of the passage, right? First, you read the title of the passage and then see how many paragraphs are there which are labeled. Only you will read labeled paragraph. Labeled means A, B, C, D and all that, right? Once you do that, after that, you will come to list of headings and you will read and interpret the headings. Now, I tell you how to read and interpret the headings, and then after that, you will go to the passage, and I advise you, it's not necessary that you start with paragraph A. If you find 2 to 3 paragraphs which are really short, start from there. They will take less time. So start from the shortest paragraph and then you can move on to other paragraphs. And by the way, once a heading is chosen carefully, cross that heading from the list. Otherwise, you will read every heading again and again and again and again. That will waste your time. So smart work is just once you chosen, for example, you chosen heading number 3 somewhere, cross it from the list and don't read it again. Okay? Yeah. Now, let's take a start. Please come to the title of the passage. What is the title? The title is The Step Pyramid of the Djoser or whatever. Step pyramid. Pyramids are there in Egypt, you know. We have pyramids in Egypt. So just imagine pyramid, and the step pyramid means there are steps, right? That much is enough for now. So you can see paragraph A, B, C, D, E, F and G. And by the way, relatively paragraphs F and G, they are shorter. So it's a good idea to start from there when you're doing it on your own. Because these paragraphs are shorter, you can just skim through them and then you can find the heading. Now we go to list of headings and I'll tell you how to read the headings. And by the way, there is a certain way examiners make headings. Once you understand examiner's mind, for example, there is a common heading in IELTS, past and present of something. And in such paragraphs, they give you a couple of sentences about the past and then they tell you about present. Then there is a very common heading, future predictions or predictions about the next 5 years. So whenever there is any heading like prediction, you need to look for a paragraph where they use any future year or where they use future tense. Right? So once you practice and have keen observation how the headings are put, you can easily understand. Now we start list of headings. Heading number 1, areas and artifacts within pyramid itself. Underline areas, artifacts within pyramid. Okay, and I'm not reading the articles. And one more thing, very important. Whenever you do list of headings, use Roman numbers. Okay, not English numbers. Now Roman number 1 is I, 2 is I, double I, 3 is triple I, 4 is IV, 5 is V, 6 is VI, 7 VII, 8 V triple I, 9 IX, and 10 X, 11 XI, 12, that's it. They'll not give you more than 10, by the way. Okay, so on your answer sheet also, you will write Roman numbers, not English numbers. Now, so areas and artifacts within the pyramid. When they talk about areas and the things which are inside the pyramid, this heading will go there. And I want you to imagine a pyramid and then there are things like that, okay? Next we have a difficult task for those involved. Those involved can be laborers, contractors or people who made it. Difficult task. For difficult task, they may use any other word. A paragraph where they say it was a very hard job for the laborers to put these stones at a level, something like that, right? Heading number 3, king who saved his people. A paragraph where they talk about a king, how he protected or saved his people. Now, are you visualizing all these things? King who saved his people. That is the best way to retain all these headings. Single certainty among other less definite facts. There were other facts, less definite, and single certainty. Certainty means a single hope or a single positive thing. Heading number 5, overview of external buildings and areas. Very simple. When they tell you outside the pyramid, they had a garden or this and that and all that. So it means it's the overview of external buildings and areas. Heading number 6, pyramid design that others copied a design that others copied. In one paragraph, they will tell you this design was very popular. It was copied by many other people from different countries and all that. Heading number 7, idea for changing the design of burial structures. Now, in one paragraph, they will talk about dead bodies, how to bury them, and how they change the structure, the burial structure. Okay, so there you will put this. Now, just imagine a graveyard and dead people and all that. Heading number 8, incredible experience despite the few remains. Few things were remaining, but the experience was incredible. Incredible experience despite the few remains means they only found few things, but the experience was remarkable, right? Heading number 9, answers to some unexpected questions. So very simple, solution, answer, questions unexpected. Now, by the way, how many questions are these? No, questions. 7. And how many headings? 9. So 2 headings are extra. And by the way, if you use heading of one question to another one, 2 answers will be wrong. Right? Now, for example, heading number 1 is for question number 19, and you put it on question number 14, so your 2 answers will be wrong. So be very careful, right? Okay, now let's go on. We go to the paragraphs. Look here. By the way, these headings will match a sentence in the paragraph. All the headings which you have read, these headings will match a sentence in the paragraph, and that sentence is what we call main idea. Main idea of the paragraph. Now, you need to locate that main idea. Sometimes that main idea is going to be very obvious and clear in the first line. You read the first line, you see, yeah, that's the main idea. Otherwise, they start with general comment or general ideas, and then after that, they come to the main idea in the 3rd sentence or 4th sentence. In that case, the mid of the paragraph is important. And in some cases, they first elaborate all the point. In conclusion, they give you the main idea. I know one IELTS paragraph where they first elaborated all the thing, and at the end they said, and this was the purpose of her research, and the heading was aim of research. Right? Whole paragraph, and at the end one sentence said that. So you need to locate that sentence. And by the way, if you when you read the paragraph and you know, I'm looking for main idea. Main idea does not contain explanation. Main idea is not in examples all the time. Main idea is something that covers the whole paragraph like an umbrella. Now, please come to paragraph A. And by the way, here they have not given any examples. Sometimes they give example heading and example question also. You can cross that as well. Let's do this together. Pyramids are the most famous monuments of ancient Egypt and still hold enormous interest for people and all that. Now, this is the general comment. Okay, the whole passage is about pyramids, so it's not that you see it's about pyramids. These grand, impressive tributes to the memory of the Egyptian kings have become linked with the country, even though other cultures such as Chinese and Mayan also built pyramids. So they also built them. The evolution of the pyramid form has been written and argued about 4 centuries. However, there is no question that as far as Egypt is concerned, it began with one monument to king designed by one brilliant architect, the step pyramid and all that. Now go back and see if there is any heading that just... okay, just go through the headings. When I ask you, then tell me. Just focus this thing. However, there is no question that. No question means this is something sure. This is a fact. However, there is no question that as far as Egypt is concerned, it began with one monument and all that. They are giving other less certain things like in China, in Maine and all that. But one thing they are sure about. So which heading? What is heading number 4? A single certainty. What is that single certainty about Egypt? There is no question. There is no question means certainty. Like you say, it's out of question. That means you are sure. So a single certainty among other less definite facts. And what are other less definite facts? China and men and all that. So for question number 14, paragraph A, 4 is the right heading. And now you should cross heading number 4 from the list. You know where 4 is written, just put a cross over there or a line so that you don't read 4. Okay, now we do paragraph B together. Please come to paragraph B. Djoser was the first king of the third dynasty of Egypt and the first to build in stone. Prior to Djoser's reign, tombs were rectangular monuments made of dried clay brick, which covered underground passage where the deceased person was buried. Now they are talking about dead people, all right? You know that. Person was buried for reasons which remain unclear. Djoser's main official, whose name was Imhotep, conceived of building a taller, more impressive tomb. He changed that. First, it was another way, how dead bodies were buried and all that. Then he changed that and he conceived a building taller and all that. Now, let's go back and see which heading mentions that. They are talking about burial structures. You know that, I mean, how the people were buried and all that, right? And they changed the design, tallest one and rectangular one and all that. So which heading? Heading number, and what is heading number 7? Idea for changing the design of burial structures. Because they clearly mentioned here, the first king, tombs were rectangular, right? And the other one, he conceived the building a taller, more impressive tomb for his king by stacking the slabs and all that stuff. Is that clear? Now see, the main idea is towards the end. Okay, let's go on to paragraph C. The step pyramid has been thoroughly examined and investigated. Now let's just go on. Third line. And one more thing. If you think still that is not the main idea, move to the next sentence. Rather jump to the next sentence. Then you don't see it is still explanation. Jump to next sentence. Let's come to next one. Historian Mark Twain comments on his writing much and all that. Jump to next sentence. It had several plans before it became the first step pyramid in history, piling 6 levels on top of one another. The weight of the enormous mass was a challenge for the builders. Those who were making. See that? Yes, the weight of the enormous mass was a challenge for the builders who placed the stones, blah, blah, blah. Heading number 2. Difficult task for those involved. Now, what was the difficult task? Weight of enormous mass was a challenge. And what is people who involved in that? Those involved in that, that is builders. Clear? All right, that's good. Okay, let's go on. Now, we've already used this heading number 2 as well. So, you can cross 2. We've used heading number 7. You can cross heading number 7 also. Now, we have paragraph D, D for doctor. When finally completed, step pyramid rose 62 meters high. Okay, next sentence. The complex in which it was built was the size of a city. Okay, let's just move on. Size of a city in ancient Egypt and included a temple, courtyard, shrines, and living quarters for the priests. So they are telling us what it included. Just focus this thing. The complex in which it was built. Complex in which it was built means the surrounding areas in that building. And what were they having there? Was the size of a city in ancient Egypt and included a temple, a courtyards, shrines, and living quarters for the priests. Now go back and tell me which heading is appropriate. First is areas and artifacts within. It's not within the complex, and then they mentioned what was in the complex. It is heading number 5. 5 is an overview of the external buildings. Now tell me, what are external buildings? Read it from there. Quarters, courtyards, temples. Yeah, so those were external buildings, right? And areas. So heading number 5 is already used with question number 17. Is that clear? All right, let's go on. Now we have paragraph E. The burial chamber of the tomb where the king's body was laid to rest was dug beneath the base of the pyramid, surrounded by a vast maze of long tunnels that had rooms of them to discourage robbers. Okay? Then they say, now they're talking about inside the pyramid. Focus. One of the most mysterious discoveries found inside the pyramid was a large number of stone vessels. Over 40,000 of these vessels of various forms and shapes were discovered in storeroom of the pyramid. Now they are talking about something which they discovered inside. Go back and tell me which heading is appropriate for that. Areas and artifacts within the pyramids. Now locate the areas. Tell me what are the areas. Areas are those vast maze, that is the area. Long tunnels, that is the area. Rooms, exactly, very good. And then for artifacts, they use the word vessels. Vessels, old vessels were like the Bartan and all that. Is that clear? So we cross heading number 1 as well. Now we have paragraph F. Unfortunately, all the precautions and intricate design of the underground network did not prevent ancient robbers from finding a way in. Now robbers stole the things from there. Djoser's grave goods and even his body were stolen at some point in the past, and all archaeologists find were a small number of his valuable overlooked by thieves. There was enough left throughout the pyramid and its complex, however, to astonish and amaze the archaeologists who excavated it. So they were left only with little stuff and all that. Go back and see which heading is appropriate for that. Incredible experience despite the few remains. Now what are the few remains? Tell me, go back. What are the few remains? Yes, they said there was, okay, grave goods, right? And then they said there was enough left throughout the pyramid and its complex. Astonish and amaze. For astonish and amaze, they've used the word? Incredible. Exactly, that's right. So for question number, few remains they mentioned already. Absolutely, exactly. So heading number 8, incredible experience despite the few remains. Few remains are mentioned, and amaze and all that means incredible experience. Okay, 8 is taken. Now we are left with one heading. No, we are left with 3 headings because 2 headings are extra. Paragraph G. Egyptologists, Miroslav and all that, few monuments hold a place in human history as significant as that of the step pyramid, all that. It can be said without exaggeration that this pyramid complex constitutes a milestone in the evolution of monumental stone archaeologists in Egypt and in the world as a whole. Focus last line. The step pyramid was a revolutionary advance in architecture and became the archetype which all the other great pyramid builder of Egypt would follow. They copied. So heading number 6, what is that? A pyramid design that others copied. For copied they use the word, and for others they said which all the other great pyramid builders. Now again, pyramid builders are others, and follow means they copied that, right? Okay, that's good. No, not necessarily. You just need to skim and reach the portion where you find the main idea. And as you skim, you need to build up your imagination that now they are talking about this and that. If you visualize the things, like you were not here when we read the headings, we visualized every heading. In one heading, they were talking about burials and dead bodies and all that. We read one paragraph. So those images created out of reading, like when you read any novel, you create images. You've got the fantasy world, fantasy novels and all that. So if you do like that, then any heading comes. For example, while reading the passage, some of you had this thing, yeah, there is a heading about it. So you should do it like that, okay? Questions 21 to 24. Complete the notes below. Choose one word only. All right, very simple. The step pyramid of Djoser. Now you are quite familiar with the passage because you've already done list of headings, so you can find these answers easily. The complex that includes the step pyramid and its surrounding is considered to be as big as an Egyptian. There is a paragraph where they talked about that complex. So please look for that. Go back and find that paragraph. Which paragraph is it? Paragraph D for doctor. D for doctor. Second line, come on, paragraph D. The complex in which it was built was the size of a city. And they said as big as an Egyptian. Size of and as big as. What will be the answer? City. As big as and size of a city. Now mark it carefully. In IELTS language, as big as and the size, they are actually synonyms, right? Size of a big city and as big as a city. So question number 21, the answer is city. Okay, now by the way, this is summary completion. Whenever you get summary completion, the good news is the questions and the answers will be in the same order. But the bad news is if there are two separate summaries, now over here we have two separate summaries. If there are two separate summaries, then for one summary, answers will be in order. But for second summary, you have to go somewhere. And then once you find one answer, the second answer will follow, right? Okay, let's go on. The area outside the pyramid included accommodation and was occupied by dash along with many other buildings and features. Same paragraph. Occupied by. Occupied by means living. Somebody was living there. Occupied by. Living quarters for priests. Living quarters for the priests. That means area was occupied by priests. Now, for example, if I say living quarters for soldiers, soldiers live there. So that means area is occupied by soldiers. Understood? So the answer is priest, singular or plural? As it is written in the passage, exactly you will copy and paste it here, right? Now we have a separate summary. A wall ran around the outside. Now your clue word is wall. Ran around the outside of the complex and a number of false entrances were built into this. Now listen, wall and false entrances. False entrance means that is not the entrance, only for the robbers they made that entrance, right? False entrances were built into this. In addition, a long dash. Now listen, for long they might use the word 500 meters, 1000 kilometers or anything like that. A long dash encircled the wall. Go back and then just see what that is. Same paragraph, you can just go on. For long, they use the word 1000 meter, 2000 meter, something like that. Which was around that. Paragraph D, fifth line, the wall had 13 false doors. They mentioned that. Clear? Cut into it with only one true entrance, cut into the southeast corner. The entire wall was then ringed. Over there, what is the word that they used? Yeah, circled and ringed. These are clue words. Exactly. Entire wall was then ringed by a trench 750 meters. Now, what is 750? Long. 750 long. So, this is IELTS language. In IELTS language, 750 meters means long. So, the answer is trench. That's right. You guys are intelligent, huh? All right, now let's go on. As a result, any visitors who had not been invited were cleverly prevented from entering the pyramid grounds unless they knew the dash of the real entrance. They, visitors, uninvited visitors, unless they knew. Same paragraph, go on. If someone wished to enter, read this line. If someone wished to enter, he or she would have needed to know in advance how to find the location of the true opening in the wall. So answer is here. Exactly. Pyramid grounds unless they knew the location of the real entrance, and that's what they said. Needed to know in advance how to find the. Needed in advance how to find the, and there they said ground unless they knew the location of the real entrance. For real entrance, what is the word that they used? True opening. Exactly. True opening and real entrance. So this is how you need to analyze this as well. Okay. Thank you. Okay, reading passage 3, the future of work. Work means the jobs people do, professions people have, and all that. Future of work. So it means a paragraph or a passage where they will tell us what will happen in the future about different jobs, different professions. As you know, artificial intelligence is taking the place of, is replacing human in many fields, right? So they say the future of work. Now we go on and we see what the questions are. First we have multiple choice questions. 27, 28, 29 and 30. Whenever we have multiple choice questions, always remember the questions and the passage will be in the same order. For multiple choice questions as well, first you find 27, then you read on 28, then 29 and then finally 30, right? Now, let's see. Question number 27. The first paragraph tells us about. They have already mentioned. It's easy for us. First paragraph tells us about. What will we do? We will skim read first paragraph. Skim read means you'll read the first sentence, first few words, second sentence, third quickly, and you'll make up your mind what are they telling us. And do not read the options. At this point, do not read the options. Then you will be double confused. Go to the paragraph with a fresh mind, right? Let's just do that together. First paragraph, please. According to a leading business consultancy, 3 to 14% of the global workforce will need to switch to a different occupation within the next 10 to 15 years. Understand? And all workers will need to adapt as their occupations evolve alongside increasingly capable machines. So machines will take their role and they will have to relocate themselves. Automation or embodied artificial intelligence, AI, is one aspect of the disruptive effects of technology on the labor market and all that stuff. Now let's go back, keeping all these things in mind, that 3 to 14% global workforce will need to switch and all that. Please read all 4 options and then tell me which is the right one. And cross the wrong options immediately. When you find any illogical option, wrong option, cross that immediately. Just try to eliminate at least 2 options so that you are left with 2 options and where one is right. So the first paragraph tells us about A, B, C, D. D for doctor, B for boy. Excellent, very good. For multiple choice, the first commando action is remove one option immediately out of 4. Like you say, ye wala to ho hi nahi sakta, betuki baat, right? And if you do that with 2 options successfully, now you are left with 2 options. That means success rate is 50-50. Before that, it was 25%, right? Now see option B, extent to which AI means artificial intelligence, will alter the nature of the work that people do. That's what they say here. Like 3 to 14% of the global workforce will need to switch to a different occupation and all that. Please come to question number 28. According to the second paragraph, what is Stella Pecky's view of the knowledge economy? Now, knowledge economy is inverted commas. So you will find second paragraph, Stella you will find there, and knowledge economy. What is her view about knowledge economy? And by the way, her view is likely to be in inverted commas or whatever she says. Yeah, focus the second and third line. Believes that. After believes that is her view. Believes mean her view. Second paragraph. Some of the most fundamental changes are happening as a result of the algorithmication of jobs that are dependent on data rather than on production, the so-called knowledge economy. Now just go back and see knowledge economy. What does she say? Okay, if you've read the paragraph, go to the options and see which option is right. Eliminate the wrong choices and you'll find the right one. Some of the most fundamental changes are happening. And then she mentions some of the most fundamental changes are happening. So some of the most fundamental changes are happening. What does that mean? A, B, C, D, C, C. Anyone else? A. Huh? D for doctor? A? Who said D? Who said D? Huh? Who said that? तबीयत सही है? That's the right answer. D is the right answer. Come back. Focus. It is a key factor driving current developments in the workplace. It is a key factor. And there she said fundamental changes are happening as a result of. Key factor and fundamental changes are happening as a result of this thing. So for question number 28, D, it is a key factor. It is a key factor driving current developments in the workplace. Okay? Exactly, but still that is the key factor which is driving these current developments. Okay? All right, let's go on. Question number 29, please. We can discuss that later. You can read it again. 29. What did Pekidi observe at the telecommunications company? Underline telecommunications company. And whatever she observed there. So you will find telecommunication company and whatever she observed. Third last paragraph. Telecommunication company, second line. Found it? Now read it carefully, please. Pekidi monitored. Read from there. Focus the last 2-3 lines. Okay, listen. What did Pekidi observe at the telecommunication company? A. Staff disagreeing with the recommendations. No. B. Staff feeling resentful. Means angry. No. D. Staff allowing AI to carry out tasks they ought to do themselves. No. C is the right answer. Staff making sure. I'll tell you why. Staff making sure that AI produces the result that they want. And for that, what are they doing? They say, however, the company had started using an algorithm that defined when account managers should contact certain customers about which kind of campaigns and what do they offer them. So they are actually staff making sure. For staff, they use the word managers. They are doing that. So making sure AI produces the result that they want. Come to question number 30, please. In his recently published research, Evan McGaughey is the clue word, and his recently, yeah, they are trying to make sure afterwards that whatever they found through AI, is that right or not? That's what they said in option C, staff making sure. They first relied on AI, but then they made sure that AI produces the results that they want. So in order to do that, they are calling and contacting them. Okay? Don't worry, you'll understand that. So question number 30, please go and find Evan McGaughey. In his recent publication or published research, you will find this Evan McGaughey in third last paragraph of the passage. First, they use this word in fourth last paragraph, Dr. Evan McGaughey, and then for recently published research, they use the word his. Found it? Please now read this and tell me what's the right answer. His recently published research answers the question of whether automation, AI, and robotics will mean a jobless future by looking at the causes of unemployment. History is clear that change can mean redundancies, but social policies can tackle this through retraining and redeployment. Now go back and see. Social policies can tackle this through retraining and redeployment. Social policies can tackle. Handled and tackled. Yeah. Okay? Because they said here, social policies can tackle this through retraining and redeployment. Option D illustrates how changes in the job market can be successfully handled. And for that, he used the word tackled. Right? Okay. Now, we have another Siapa. You understand Siapa? Yeah, मैं थोड़ी बार चले जाना है. How many of you are gender training? Say thank God. That's not that difficult. Okay, this is academic. But after doing this, you will say, "जय मुश्किलें मुझ पे इतनी पड़ी के आसान हो गई." So this is big मुश्किल. After this, gender training will be a piece of cake. Like for example, you are class 7th student, and one day you sit in class 3, and teacher is teaching you. Say, "I know this." Okay, so it's just like that. And those who are academic, don't worry. Academic reading is so interesting, full of knowledge. Yeah. Now you learned about AI and all that. Okay. Questions 31 to 34. Algorithmication of jobs, right? Algorithm and all that they use. For example, if you watch one type of videos on YouTube, you will get those videos again and again. They have the algorithm. They have artificial intelligence, right? Once on my YouTube, the cartoon of Doraemon, they started coming on my mobile. I've got the same YouTube on my desktop, on my mobile, on my tab and all that. I was surprised why these cartoons are coming. Then my daughter told me, "Daddy, I was watching Doraemon." So see that whatever you watch once, now sometimes I watch videos of paragliding. You know paragliding? Right? So they always recommend me the videos of paragliding. This is what they call artificial intelligence, right? Okay, now algorithmication of jobs. Stella hi janni chhad rahi, huh? Of Cambridge Judge Business School has been focusing on the algorithmication of jobs which rely on which rely not on production but on dash. Now, which rely not on production but on dash. How did you find data? Already read it? Where is it? Locate it. Second paragraph, third line, data rather than on production. Now please go back to A, B, C, D and find me a synonym of data. Synonym of data. What is that? Information. Exactly. You understand now? So this time you will find word for word. One word is data and in the box they have written information. Now what will be the answer? Yes, answer is not information, answer is G, exactly. So you can cross G here. You all understand? Good. Now we've got second summary, it's different. While monitoring a telecommunications company, you know that, there was telecommunications company, Piketty observed a growing dash on the recommendations made by AI. Growing dash. Go back and just look for it. It's the second last paragraph on title page. They use the word and become dependent on its instructions and all that. Okay? Algorithms eyes and become dependent on its instructions. So, the question is, while monitoring telecommunication company, Piketty observed a growing dash on, depended on. They use the word there. Exactly, become dependent on it or become dependent on its instructions. So for depend, what is the word? Reliance. Depend and rely, and reliance is the noun of that. So what is reliance here? Option E. So for question number 32, E will be the right answer. Clear? Let's go on. After that, we read from meanwhile. Okay, read the next sentence now. Question number 33. Meanwhile, staff are deterred from experimenting and using their own something, and are therefore prevented from achieving innovation. So staff are deterred from experimenting and using their own something. Same paragraph. After dependent, alternative explorations where experimentation and human instinct led to progress and new ideas are effectively discouraged. Now what is discouraged? Two things. Experimentation and human instinct. Experimentation they have already mentioned. Find a word for human instinct. Human instinct. Exactly. Human instinct. What is the word for that? Human instinct. That's what you say, chatti his. Human instinct. Now find a word for human instinct. Human instinct. Intuition. That's right. Human instinct, chatti his or intuition is the similar to that thing. So C is the right answer for question number 33. Clear? Okay, question number 34, please. We will read this paragraph. To avoid the kind of situations which Piketty observed, researchers are trying to make AI's decision-making process easier to comprehend and to increase users' dash with regard to the technology. Increase users something with regard to the technology. So you will just find this thing, to avoid the kind of situations. Please start reading from page 20. Yeah, last paragraph and then next page, first paragraph. It's scenarios like these, got it? It's scenarios like these that many researchers are working to avoid. Their objective is to make AI technologies more trustworthy and transparent. Trustworthy. If someone is trustworthy, then you will have confidence on that person. So trustworthy. What's the word for that? Confidence. And confidence is F. So for question number 34, F will be the right answer. Now let me tell you finally, whenever you do this type of questions, you will have to match one word with one word, and that is going to be only the synonym. Okay, for example, for confidence, they use the word trustworthy. For reliance, they use the word depend on, rely on, or anything like that. Okay, so it's just like that. Right. Okay, now we go on with the last few questions, 35 to 40. The question type is matching. Whenever they give you matching, there is the list of names, and then there are the statements. Now, by the way, in the list, how many people? And how many questions? 6. That means one name can be used twice or even thrice, right? Minimum one time, but maximum 2-3 times one name can be used. Now, in this type of questions, the questions are not in passage order. Questions are not in passage order, but the good news is these names are in order. In the passage, first you will find Stella, then you will find Hamish, then you will find Evan, right? So first you need to just, you've been through it already. Now we will first find Stella, we'll read about her, and then we can come back to it. Okay. So Stella is mentioned in paragraph 2 and paragraph 3. Yeah, then we can read on. Right? Now I just give you a minute, go through second and third paragraph, and then we see if we find anything about her. Stella. By the way, we have already done one question there, so they wouldn't give that. Please focus third paragraph. Come to third paragraph. In many cases, they can outperform humans, say Pekidi. Organizations are attracted to using algorithms because they want to make choices based on what they consider is perfect information, as well as to reduce costs and enhance productivity. So please go back now. Go through questions 35 to 40 and then see which question matches with it. Because means reasons. Right? They use the word because in the paragraph, and then they gave several reasons. They want to make choices based on what they consider is perfect, as well as to reduce costs, enhance productivity. So these are several reasons. Now which question? 36. Exactly. 36. So for 36, the right answer is A. Now you are going to cross 36. Just number 36, cross it, so that you don't read it. Okay, now we move on, and we'll have, because they have mentioned about Stella at 2, 3, 4 occasions, so we'll just find again. Next is Hamish Lowe. Hamish Lowe. Find Hamish Lowe. Yeah. Very next paragraph. Please read it carefully. Hamish Lowe. He says, but these enhancements are not without consequences. This is again says Pakiri, if routine cognitive. You may do one thing. Please read paragraph number 4. Because again they mentioned Pekidi. There can be any option about her. So read it again. Read this paragraph. First please read fourth paragraph. Fourth paragraph. But these enhancements are not without consequences. Now she's talking about consequences. Says Pekidi, if routine cognitive tasks are taken by AI, how do professionals develop their future experts? She asks. One way of learning about a job is legitimate peripheral participation. A novice stands next to expert and learns by observation. If this isn't happening, then you need to find new ways to learn. Now go back and see if any question matches with that. By explaining this, she is presenting a problem. How will we learn? Now we learn from others. If artificial intelligence is there, then how will one person learn from other person? Question number? 39 is people are going to follow a less conventional career? No. 38, absolutely. It is important to be aware of the range of problems that AI causes. Come back. I tell you those range of problems. If routine cognitive tasks are taken over by AI, how do professionals develop their future? Number one, that's a problem. Then afterwards, she asks, one way of learning about a job is legitimate peripheral participation. A novice stands next to experts and learns by observation. If this isn't happening, then you need to find a new way to learn. Another problem. Okay, so 38, answer is A. Yeah. So we are done with 38 and we are done with 36. Okay, now you can go on to B. Hamish Low. Where is Hamish? I think towards the end. Exactly. Second page, second paragraph, Hamish Low. Economist Professor Hamish Low believes that the future of work will involve major transitions across the whole life course for everyone. Major transitions mean you will do different jobs, not one work, different jobs. Yeah, the traditional trajectory of full-time education followed by full-time work and all that. Question number? 39. People are going to follow a less conventional career path than in the past. How does he say that? Read on. If in 30 years, half of 100 jobs are being, the upper paragraph. The traditional trajectory of full-time education followed by full-time work followed by a pension retirement is a thing of the past, says Low. Instead, he envisages a multi-stage employment life, one where retraining happens across the life course and where multiple jobs and no job happen by choice at different stages. Now, what's the statement? People are going to follow a less conventional. What is conventional? What is conventional? Job, retirement, and after that pension and all that. So less conventional is what he's mentioned here. So for 39, the answer is exactly. So in front of 39, you will write B, and now you can even cross 39 as well. So how many questions have we done so far? 36, 38, and 39. Okay. Now, let's see, have they mentioned Hamish somewhere else? Next paragraph, read it. Exactly. Because we have 3 names and 6 questions. On the subject of job losses, Low believes the predictions are founded on a fallacy. It assumes that the number of jobs is fixed. If in 30 years, half of 100 jobs are being carried out by robots, that doesn't mean we are left with just 50 jobs for human. The number of jobs will increase. We would expect there to be 150 jobs. Now go back. 35. Greater levels of automation will not result in lower employment. Because he said 150 jobs, right? So 35, the answer is B, exactly. In front of 35, you will write B. And here you have to write the answers in order. In front of 35, you will write B in the same order. Otherwise, it will be wrong. Okay, now we are left with questions 37 and 40. Which letter haven't we used? C, दोनों पे लगा दें. Yeah, दोनों पे लगा दें सही हो जाएगा. Okay, because दो तो लगा दिए, इंसाफ से चलना चाहिए. Yeah. Anyways, Evan McGaughey. Where is Evan McGaughey? Exactly. 4th last paragraph. Dr. Evan McGaughey at Cambridge Centre for Business Research and King's College London and all that. It's the law that restrict to supply. Now we are left with 2 questions, and you can keep the questions in mind. AI's potential to transform people's life, 37, and 40 is authorities should take measures to ensure. Okay? So please move on to third last paragraph. But we've already done that about his publication and all that, right? Okay, let's move on to next paragraph. He adds, come to this one. He adds. Second last paragraph, please focus. He adds. If there is going to be change to job as a result of AI and robotics, then I'd like to see governments means authorities, seizing the opportunity to improve policy to enforce good job security. We can reprogram the law and all that. What is 40? Authorities should take measures, reprogram the law and all that to ensure that there will be adequately paid work for everyone. So question number 40, the answer is C. Right? Now we are left with one question, that is 37. AI's potential to transform people's life has parallels with major cultural shifts which occurred in previous eras. Go on, read the last paragraph. Last paragraph of the passage. They continue. He adds. He means they talk about him. And we are left with one question only. Just as the Industrial Revolution brought people past subsistence agriculture, and the corporate revolution enabled mass production, a third revolution has been pronounced, but it will not only be one of technology. The next revolution will be social. So which question? AI's potential to transform people's life has parallels with major cultural shift which occurred in previous eras, that industrial revolution. So 37, answer is C. Okay? All right.